anytime, it's anywhere, that all of the information is online and can be accessed on any any of these, like Office 365, or if you're using Google Docs, that you, with a username and password, you can manage who can access your content. You can access it from any machine. You don't have to be on your school machine or on your own machine. You can access it over multiple devices, and so you have ultimate flexibility. Also, the whole thing that versions of drafts that you've created can be stored individually, so that there's a record of the process there. Now, you can do that as well on paper, but each time that you do it on paper, you're either printing out a new version, or you're actually starting from scratch again and working through it. So that whole thing of being able to edit easily isn't really straightforward when you're using paper. And again, the fact that, in paper, it's a physical folder, it can get lost. It has to be carried around, whereas your electronic portfolio is something that's always there. It's stored up in the cloud, so it's backed up and you don't have to worry about it going missing. The only thing probably that does come into play from time to time is students losing passwords, but all of these systems have a forget password facility, so even that is something that can be easily overcome. And I think the whole thing that it's multimedia, that you can have images, video, sound, as against just pen and paper or pictures stuck onto paper and so on. You know yourselves how restrictive paper can be. We covered this last week, but just very quickly, portfolio is either whether it can be paper or electronic. It is a collection of evidence that is gathered together to show a person's learning journey over time and to demonstrate their abilities. In that way, people compiling portfolios are active participants in their own learning. So that's kind of the kind of general description of what e-portfolios can do that we come up with in the e-portfolio or the eUfolio project. So we had Adam, are you back on? We still can't hear you, Adam. I'm not sure, are you there or not? So we had a couple of questions here anyway. What sort of content would you like to see in a portfolio or e-portfolio? What different media formats do you imagine your students using? And what might you like as a teacher in terms of administration or availability? Right, so take those first two questions at the moment, right? What sort of content would you like to see in an e-portfolio, and what different media formats could you see your students using? So if you want to either, by all means, if any of you are happy to unmute your mic and come on, we'd love to hear from you, rather than depending on the chat all the time. Now, if you feel free to use the chat, but I'd like to hear from one or two of you if you have any thoughts on it, or if you've experienced or used or tried to use e-portfolios in the past. Yes, that's Lisa, is it?
Lisa, yeah. This is my first time I'm talking on one of these things, so I guess stemming from this program, to my transition years, they're going to be doing an e-portfolio as 50% of their summer test, and they already did a PowerPoint before Christmas and a Prezi after Christmas, and now from this they're doing an animation. So I don't know if it's an e-portfolio, but they're going to email me, and yeah, that's the summative part of it. And I am in class at the moment. Like, I came in today and I was kind of going through the grammar of one of their stories, French teacher, so it's with French. Does that qualify?
Okay, Lisa, that's brilliant. Firstly, I think, basically, I think you're using the technology, you're getting them to use the tools, you're variety of tools there, and most importantly, it's the students and their creativity. That's very important. Whether it's a portfolio or not, probably not in the true definition. If you had asked them to put it on to create post each of those on their blog with maybe a little description of what each one is, and then they'd send you the link to that page.
Oh yeah.
Then that's portfolio, because you have all the resources in one page, in one place, and you have maybe either a description or reflection to go along with them.
Okay. And so if I set up some kind of a website, is that another kind of? Oh, well, that's what a blog is, I guess, is it?
Well, that's what we touched on, like using Blogger or WordPress or whatever, yeah. and some I know particularly with transition year. You might be as well just go to blogger.com, set yourself up with a blog, do maybe a quick demo, but they'll figure it out themselves very, very quickly.
Yeah.
You know, and then get them to post each of the 3 or 4 items artifacts that they have done. Ask them to, so they can create a little blog post with a reflection of what they've done, which is kind of a description and how it went for them, and attach the PowerPoint or the piece of work that they've created to that blog.
Yeah, and I guess it's because it's a oral presentation.